Hey everybody, welcome to a special WCPO 9 high school football preview show. We're here at the Mall Road Chick-fil-A location in Florence, getting ready to talk Northern Kentucky high school football today. And this is the third of four special shows that Chick-fil-A is hosting around the greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky area. We were at Kenwood Town Center on Monday. We were at Blue Ash yesterday, and we're going to be at the Western Hills location on July 30th. And pleased to be highlighting Cooper, Ryle, and the Walton-Verona football programs here at the Mall Road location. Before I get started, I want to give definitely a shout-out to operator Dustin DeShera and also marketing director Deb Herrick. Thank you very much for the hospitality. We really appreciate you hosting this special show, and pleased to be here for the very first time here at the Mall Road location at Chick-fil-A. Speaking with 13 coaches overall from around the area at these four special events. And as I mentioned, these three teams, Cooper, Ryle, and Walton-Verona. My co-host today is Link NKY sports editor Evan Dennison, really become a friend over the past year. Evan, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for having me on, and looking forward to this. This is something neat and new for me, and excited to be here today.
And Evan is the foremost expert on high school sports here in Northern Kentucky, so that's why we brought him aboard here for this special show. And before we get started here with the Walton-Verona football team, I want to remind you this WCPO 9 high school football preview show is brought to you by Chick-fil-A Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky. Enjoy a free Chick-fil-A 8-count nuggets in the Chick-fil-A app through July 27th. And pleased to be joined by Walton-Verona coach Gary Pence along with a couple of his players. We have senior tight end defensive end John Strunk and senior running back and linebacker Ben Walton. Guys, thanks for taking a few minutes. Thanks for making the visit here today. And Coach, I'll just start with you. First year with Walton-Verona, the Bearcats program, and tell us about how your summer has been and how you've gotten acclimated into this football program.
Well, first, thanks for having me here. It definitely has been a whirlwind since I got the job. I've obviously getting the job basically first week of June. It's a kind of a late change to get the job, so I've kind of been learning on the fly. Like, your phone doesn't stop once you kind of get this head coaching job where it's every day, all day, getting messages, emails, planning things out. But overall, it's been great so far. I mean, I have great senior players like these two players here. The community has been absolutely amazing so far. So it's been a whirlwind, but as I said, it's been a great experience so far, and we're really starting to come together now.
Obviously, a former Cooper assistant. We're going to get into that irony here in a little bit. But I know Evan had some questions here for Coach and Ben and John, and Evan, I'll let you take it away here.
Yeah, Coach, I'll start with you. You know, entering year one with the team, everyone wants to know what kind of identity your team's going to take on. When we come and see you guys play on Friday nights, what are you guys going to look like?
Well, obviously, one of the hardest things, as I said, kind of getting this job so late was I didn't even get to meet these players till the first week of June. So for the players, and I really feel bad for the seniors when it comes to coaching change this late because they get so used to one way of coaching, a style, offense, a defense, and all of a sudden their senior year, it's completely different. So it's one of those things. I spent a lot of June just trying to get to know the players, kind of see what type of team we have. And now, I would say, as we got in July, I think we're going to have a very physical team. We have a lot of big players on our team. We might not have the most team speed in the world, but we should have a lot of size, a lot of physicality, where I think we'll be a good team that runs the ball well. I think we should be able to do play action. We have some very tall receivers. We got John Strunk down there. As you see, he's a pretty tall guy there, so we got someone like that to throw the ball to. So as a team, I see us be more of a running identity on offense, some play action, be able to take some shots down the field. Defensively, I think it might be our strong point, though. I think we really have a team that could be very strong on defense. We have a great defensive line, athletic linebackers, and some real good size on defensive back. So based off what I've seen so far on our team, I'm very excited about the direction we're going so far.
And Ben, I'll start with you. You know, you guys are coming off a 4-6 season. You know, the first time you hadn't made the playoffs since 2009. What kind of sour taste did that leave, and what did you learn off of last year's experience to make sure that doesn't happen again maybe this year?
Last year the sour taste came from the fact that we should have most definitely made the playoffs. We had the tools, we had the aggression, we had the size, and just between injuries and kids not buying in, it fell through our fingers. And seeing it, thankfully, we have a lucky bring of second chance to have these tools again. And I think this year the goal is going to be grasping it and taking advantage of the things that we were given.
And John, Ben talks about those injuries. How much could that maybe be a blessing in disguise? You had some younger guys have to step up no matter what. And what are you seeing from maybe just the younger group and you as a senior to maybe kind of help propel you guys based off those injuries and having to step up in bigger roles?
Well, just to start off, we had our senior QB get hurt last year, and a junior QB a sophomore QB had to step up, and he did really well. Especially now this year, he's already been through it. He knows what it takes to get it done. And a lot of our receivers got hurt last year, and it was my chance to step up, and I had a lot of fun. It was a really good experience. And I know I know what to do on Friday night as well. So yeah, I'm pretty excited about it.
And Coach talks about defense is where your guys' strong suit is going to be. We're talking to a linebacker. We're talking to a defensive end here. What does that kind of sound to you guys as far as just, Coach speaking highly of you as a unit and what you guys are going to present on Friday nights for a defense?
It's awesome just to see everybody and all my friends out there just succeeding on defense and offense. But like he said, defense will be our strong point this year. We got a lot of size, a lot of physicality. And like he said, we're not very fast, but I think, just being as physical and as big as we are, I think we're going to do really well.
And, Coach, this district, outside of Beechwood, it feels really wide open from the second spot to the fourth spot in terms of playoff positioning. What does that mean to you coming from maybe a district of, you go from 6 teams and now you have 6 teams, so that means 2 teams are going to get left out. But how do you feel about the district and where you guys kind of line up there?
Well, as you kind of alluded to in the past, Walton in the old district had a lot of success, 8 or 9 different district championships. Last year, obviously, was a down year, so we're kind of looking to get back on track this year. Obviously, having a team like Beechwood in the district, as I said, it's a blessing in disguise at the same time because as a program, that's eventually where you want to get to. So you get to see every year exactly the top team, basically. You get to see exactly where they are and what you need to do to get to that level. So when you look at that and then other teams in the district, I feel like the district as a whole has been improving when you watch it from last year. Like Bracken County had a very good year last year. I believe they returned most of their players. I know Carroll County also had a coaching change. So I do feel like it is wide open, especially after Beechwood. It's kind of very wide open. So us as a program, we obviously want to get back to the point where our goal is to win the next game, but we want to get to the point where, one, we're in the playoffs and fighting to try to hopefully get a home playoff game. So that's one of the things we want to get better as the year goes on. I know for me, one of the biggest things I've learned from my time actually coaching at Cooper with Coach Borches over here is we want to get better every week because our goal is once we get the district play is be playing our best. And then even then, once we get to the playoffs. So keep getting better every week, and then time we get in the district play, try to get things going, and hopefully try to get to a spot where we get a home playoff game and keep going from there.
Well, Evan, 3 straight home games for the Bearcats, obviously, to open the season against Bishop Brossard, August 23rd, Newport Central Catholic, August 30th, and then Kentucky Country Day, September 13th. Guys, I know you play basketball. Tell us a little bit about something maybe people don't know about you. Start with you, Ben. What does something beyond football that maybe people don't know about you as a student athlete?
Something about me is beyond a student athlete is I'm a wrestler. Last year, me and some of my buddies were ranked highest in the state, and something that's really nice about wrestling is it translates very well to football as, in your position in this, especially this defensive scheme we're running, you're one-on-one with someone. It's your job to get one person. And as a wrestler, I have no more pleasure than seeing one person and knowing I'm going to eat him for lunch. He's going to be a snack for me. And it's not competition. It's me hurting this kid.
I think we have the soundbite of the preseason so far. What do you think, Evan?
Is that a spicy chicken sandwich or a 10-piece or what?
Tough act to follow. What do you think?
Repeat that again.
I'm sorry. Just something about people don't know about you as a student athlete, even beyond football, John.
I do, like he said, I do play basketball. I haven't played in 2 years, but now just getting back with a lot of my friends. We are all seniors this year in basketball, but even beyond that, just it's kind of a cliche answer, but I do enjoy spending time with my family and just, may sound crazy. I'm starting to enjoy school a little bit more because it's going to be my senior year, and I think I'll miss a little bit, so yeah.
And as Mike hit on with 3 home games right out the bat, I understand you guys did a lot of renovations over there. Just tell us how that's looking as far as the athletic complex and the renovations and how that's looking.
The complex is absolutely great out there. I said the field we have there is in great shape. We have a great locker room and stuff like that. We're making sure we take care of. We have a nice 40-yard indoor field house, turf indoor field house. So it allows us a lot of luxury when bad weather comes along or anything like that. We can get inside and still get plenty of work done and not having to lose a practice day or anything like that because we have the nice weight room and all that stuff. So the facilities we have out there has been absolutely amazing. It allows us to be a kind of a first-class type of program where our guys are getting to be able to put that work in without having any kind of setbacks or really any disadvantage, where we have those advantages where we can put that work in and just keep getting better. So everything out there at Walton-Verona right now has been absolutely amazing.
A 40-yard field house for a Class 2A football team. That's pretty wild. That's something that you don't normally see.
Good stuff. All right, guys, now the ultimate question. Talked a lot about football. What is on your go-to Chick-fil-A order?
I'm going to go with just a classic chicken sandwich and an Oreo milkshake.
Nice. All right. Ben?
I'd have to go with a lemonade and the grilled chicken club sandwich.
Coach, how about you?
Well, I eat here at least once a week, so I get my go-to order is a Chick-fil-A sandwich, chicken nuggets, fries, and a chocolate shake. It's the best shakes ever here, so.
Wow, how about that? All right. Walton-Verona Bearcats, really appreciate your time. John Strunk, Ben Walton, and Coach Gary Pence. Best of luck to the Bearcats this season.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys. Evan, tell us a little bit about what people can see on Link NKY as we get going here with the high school football previews.
Yeah, we just started our 4 Down series, which basically chronicles and gives an outlook of every single Northern Kentucky high school football team that we cover. We cover 3 counties, Kenton, Boone, and Campbell County, so that covers 22 high schools. Used to be 21, but now it's 22 with St. Henry bringing on a program. They'll just play JV this year, but we're still going to, focus on them a little bit. But, Northern Kentucky football, it's some of the best in the state. It's really competitive. You look from 1A all the way through 6A. There's some really good teams. There was 2 that made the state finals last year. These guys are
Perfect
very
segue,
well aware of
right?
that.
Yeah,
so
there you go.
We're looking forward to previewing each team and having that roll out. It started on Monday and it's going all the way through middle of August.
If you don't follow Evan and the Link NKY sports team, you should do so. Definitely an authority on high school sports in Northern Kentucky. Next up is Cooper, obviously a state runner-up last year, a magical season. The Jaguars coach Randy Borchers has brought a couple of his players here today. We have senior defensive back and wide receiver Isaac Brown and senior wide receiver and linebacker Mason Stanton. Guys, thanks for taking a few minutes here. Appreciate you being here.
Hey, thanks for having us on.
I know Evan wanted to probably jump in with some questions here right away for Coach.
What an exciting team and exciting year last year for you guys. And I imagine that's, it was under the radar last year. Not many people expected to see Cooper at Kroger Field on the first weekend of December. But now I imagine that's an expectation for you guys. And what are you guys doing in terms of approaching that, knowing that the target's going to be on your back all season?
Yeah, we're just trying to keep things as consistent as possible. Some of our best years have always been when we've kind of been underneath that radar. So we're just trying to go about business as usual and try not to get too high, too low, or buy into any of the hoopla going around right now.
Isaac, man, every time I see you, I feel like you grow. I mean,
Yes,
how tall are you now?
I'm 6'3" now.
6'3" as a cornerback. That's scary stuff right there. And tell me about the offseason. You picked up a few offers, and how exciting has that been for you and just this whole process?
It's been really exciting. I've been able to go to a lot of different places, do a lot of different camps, and that's been really great. I get to kind of see, and it helps me out because I can help the guys in my position group, and I can help my teammates because I've seen some of the Nets level camps or some of the Nets level coaching. So it's been helping me out. It's been really great. I've been blessed to go to these different places and do these different camps. So it's been really good.
And talking to Coach Borchers in the offseason, this was a position you really didn't even start playing until, about a year or two ago?
Yeah, so I really started playing football my freshman year. And my freshman year and sophomore year, I was really playing receiver. And then last year or the offseason before last year, I started playing DB and really started working at DB. And then from there, I've just been working ever since.
And Mason, the one play I think of last year was the interception at Highlands in the state semifinals to basically clinch your guys' ticket to Kroger Field and play in a state championship. Tell me what that moment was like and just kind of just the season as a whole for you guys, going on the road, winning 3 straight road playoff games to get to the pinnacle of the state championship game.
Obviously that moment was really special to me. I would say that's definitely probably the highlight of my high school career, just going out there and obviously being able to seal the game for the team. It was super special. And then the road games with the team, that was always fun. I would say probably the funnest part was just being able to go with the team we'd always go to Cattleman's to eat. We always had a super fun time there. And then obviously after winning games, coming back together, that was really fun. Just coming back on the bus with the team, but it was a super special season, especially towards the end of the year when we really bonded together and everything. And I just thought it was super special.
Obviously, Class 5A state runner-up, 12-3 record a year ago. Coach, when did you turn that page from last year's journey, looking ahead to this year, whether that be over the winter, the spring, the day after the game? What was that like?
Yeah, everyone always says, oh, well, as soon as the season's over, we're getting ready for next year. But I think it's really important for our kids to take a little time off and unwind in that. So we gave them off until the first of the year. But, when we got back from Christmas, they knew it was all business, and they were locked in. And to be honest with you, one of the biggest things we were worried about coming into this year is complacency, coming off of a season like that, having a lot of guys back. So, our biggest question as a coaching staff was how was our kids going to respond in the off season? How are they going to work? And I can tell you from day one, these kids came in with their heads down, just ready to work, ready to go with the grind. A lot of these guys have been doing a lot of stuff on their own. They've been going to their gyms on their own. So, there's not a question in my mind that these guys aren't focused and ready to go for this school year or football season.
And, Coach, when we entered the season last year up front, we thought was a big question mark for you guys, and I think that was evident early in the season. Games against Ryle, games against Highland, games in the trenches where you guys just, got beat. But as the season evolved and developed, you seem to really shore that up. How confident are you in that group now and knowing what you have back along the line?
Yeah, and that's going to be our biggest question mark again this year. We replaced 5 offensive linemen last year and 3 defensive linemen. This year we're replacing at least 3 up front and 3 on defense. So we got some question marks there, but the thing is we got a lot of young talent coming up. We got a lot of kids working, and kind of the thing that's so special about our group is, and we did the same thing last year, we took 2 of our fullbacks or running back type kids, and we moved them to offensive line, and we've kind of done that again this year. So it will take us a little bit of time for those kids to kind of get used to the position and to learn it. But our ultimate goal is to be ready come playoff time and district time, and we just want to get better. And we may hit some growing pains early in the year, and it may not be the worst thing because it may wake our kids up and it may get us more focused, and it's going to let us see what we really need to do to get where we really want to go, and that's back down to Kroger Field come December.
And your team certainly doesn't lack that wow factor when you got guys like Cam O'Hara, Austin Alexander, Isaiah Johnson, these 2 gentlemen to our right. These guys are picking up offers left and right. What is that like as a head coach, seeing these guys mature as men and get these offers and just kind of talk to some of these college coaches and talk about these kids?
Well, I use Isaac right there as a perfect example of our program because he's a kid that came in as a sophomore and got very little varsity playing time. But he worked extremely hard, and he put the time in, and he stayed committed, and he never got down on himself. And he's got 4, really good offers right now. And it's really cool to see a kid like Isaac that's put the work in that wasn't there early. You look at a Cam O'Hara and an Austin Alexander. We knew from day one that kid was going to be special, or those kids were going to be special. And we knew, those offers were going to come. But it's really cool to see a kid like Isaac Brown or Isaiah Johnson that came in that you knew had potential, but may not be there yet, and for them to work through it and just see the process and see how well they kind of transpired over the last 3 years.
Mason, this one's for you. Jack Loneker isn't a guy that one program simply replaces, but as a unit, maybe as a linebacking core, what are you doing to maybe offset the loss of him and bringing that tenacity and knowing that guy was at the bottom of every dog pile every single play?
I mean, obviously it's going to be really hard to replace someone like Jack. He's that type of guy. He's really big dude. He's got that mean mentality to come in. But I think we have a new group of linebackers and guys there that they got a great mentality to play it. They're physical. They're not super big, but I mean they're definitely physical enough. And we have a lot of speed this year, which is I think it's going to help us a lot. So besides the whole like aggressive factor, I think the speed is going to be a really big difference this year in the fact that they're smart and they know what they're doing. They're going to be able to play well.
And Coach, how much is it maybe a challenge to spread the ball around, knowing how many weapons you have on offense with, Keegan Maher at running back, Malachi Ewell at wide receiver, along with the other guys that I've already mentioned?
Yeah, that's always going to be a challenge. And when you have as many playmakers as we got, sometimes, guys get their feelings hurt or guys get upset if they're not getting the ball enough. And the thing that we've been able to see over the last year or so, and even really going into this year, guys they're not getting mad if they're not getting the ball. I think, it's the mindset that all these guys know on our team, how good they can be, how good we can be as a team. So they're willing to share the wealth. They're willing to share the ball around. And the more guys we can get involved, the harder it's going to be to take one guy away.
And you look at the district, Highlands obviously an annually good team. Dixie Heights seems like they keep taking steps up. Connor seems like a team that might be a little bit under the radar this year too. What are you seeing in district play, and how important maybe is it this year to try and get maybe home field this time throughout the playoffs instead of having to hit the road every single week?
Yeah, everyone talks about home field, and it would be nice to be home, but to be very honest with you, I think our team does very well on the road. Mason kind of mentioned it earlier about how our guys really kind of bond when we travel, and we try to do it the right way and make it special for these guys when we travel. But ultimately, you want to get home, and with the RPI nowadays, every game's important. When we go into district play, we know it's going to be a dogfight every week. There's not a week that we're going to be able to take off, and if we don't play well, we could lose any of those games. So we got to come in focused every week, and it's a grind. You go 10 weeks, and you got to bring your A game all 10 weeks, or you're going to be hurting come playoff time.
All right, speaking of the road, if you have that Chick-fil-A order and it's go-to and you got to take it on the road, what's it going to be, guys? Let's start with Mason over here. I'm sorry, Isaac.
Definitely got to go with the spicy chicken sandwich. Get some fries. The waffle fries are super good, and you got to go with the Powerade every time.
Strong endorsement there. All right, Isaac, how about you?
Give me a chicken sandwich meal, no pickle. I'll go with the cherry coke, and then I'll order another chicken sandwich, and then there's a chance I get a milkshake. I don't know. It's up in the air.
You just keep adding on to this. I like that. All right,
Gotta
Coach.
go with the nuggets. There's nothing better than the nuggets here, and you got to get buffalo sauce with the ranch, with the sweet tea, and you're set.
Very good. How about that? Cooper Jaguars, Coach Randy Borchers. Really appreciate your time, and all the best of luck to Cooper this season.
Thank you, guys. This is an awesome event. Thanks for having us.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Good luck to you. Thanks, Mason.
Yes, sir. Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Mason.
I want to give a shout-out to Emmy Award winner Marshall Kramsky over here in the corner helping us out here with these teams as they transition. WCPO 9 sports anchor Marshall Kramsky. Be sure to check him out along with Caleb Noe on our Friday night coverage starting August 23rd on WCPO 9 Sports. Marshall, thanks for being here, especially on your off day. We really appreciate it.
Best preview show of high school football in the country. I'm telling you right now. Thanks, Mike.
In the
Thank you.
country. Nice.
We're going to bring Ryle here, Coach Mike Engler. How are you, Mike? Good to see you. Hold on, a couple players here. Appreciate it, guys. We'll take your seats. We'll maybe share a mic on the end there. Just a reminder as we get settled here with the Ryle football team, this WCPO high school football preview show is brought to you by Chick-fil-A, Greater Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky. Enjoy a free Chick-fil-A 8-count nuggets in the Chick-fil-A app through July 27th. And again, shout out to Marshall Kramsky here doing his due diligence to help us out here on the WCPO high school football preview. Evan, I know you have some questions here for Coach Engler and the Ryle Raiders.
Coach, got the opportunity to see you guys a few times last year, and what I recall most was after every game, young guys. That was the main takeaway that I got from you, is just how excited you were about these young guys starting, I believe it was 7, 8, 9 sophomores on the defensive side, and just the youth. And now these guys are a year older. So tell me about that, and just how excited you are with this bunch this year.
Well, first of all, thanks for having us on here. Thanks for having us on here. With having so much experience coming back, it's going to be very exciting. And the funny thing is, I feel like we're still kind of under the radar as well when teams are, looking at us, when the rankings come out. As far as the young guys, I think against Bryan Station last year in the state quarterfinals, we started 8 sophomores. And that makes for, a lot of experience coming back. We return 4 receivers that had 22 or more catches last year. We return 4 guys on the offensive line. Actually, we returned basically our entire receiving core. We did lose our quarterback, but I think we got one this year that's going to be pretty daggone good. And he learned from his older brother, who was a pretty good quarterback. We returned the top tackler in 6A football last year. We returned a guy that was up there with him until he had a season-ending injury about midway through the season. And defensively, we returned about 13 guys that started 5 or more games last year. So it brings a lot of experience back. And, and some of these guys are starting to get big-time offers, and should be a pretty exciting year.
Coach, you're entering your 11th season, 3 wins away from becoming the all-time winningest coach there at Ryle. I'd be remiss I didn't introduce these guys here formally as we were getting kind of the chairs set up here, but certainly want to give a shout out to these guys here. Senior defensive end tight end Dylan Smith. We also have junior linebacker Jacob Savage, senior wide receiver Landon Lorms, and junior quarterback Nathan Virax. And guys, again, appreciate you being here. And Evan, go ahead. I'll let you pick it up from there.
Dylan, I'll start with you. As a defensive lineman in a pick six, you had, what, 2 of those last year?
I had only 1. Should have had 2.
Okay.
But, yeah.
What? Yeah, who tackled you there?
Cam O'Hara.
Oh, Cam.
Cooper quarterback.
Cooper quarterback, gotcha. If that happens again, what's going to happen?
It won't happen again.
And, you're a Louisville commit. That's a big-time offer, big-time program, a Power 4. What's that process been like, and just seeing yourself develop and going through that process?
It's been an amazing process from start to finish, and really not only were they recruiting me, they really built a great relationship with my parents and the rest of my family.
And Jacob, has Dylan been putting the press on you? I saw you got a Louisville offer. Tell me about that.
Yeah, he definitely encourages it a lot, and he talks a lot of good things about the program. So yeah, it's cool.
Landon, you come off a strong season again last year. What can you do to elevate your game even more, to even set the standard higher as a program and as one of the top receivers ever to really come out of Northern Kentucky?
Just look to be a leader for my team, be open to coaching, and just be the best teammate possible.
And Nathan, learning from your older brother Logan, he's he left as Northern Kentucky's all-time leading passer in passing yards, and that's some big shoes to fill. But what's maybe something different that we're going to see from Nathan that we saw maybe from Logan?
I think Logan showed flashes of this, but I think my running ability will really surprise some teams. Coming off this track season, I ran a 11.2 100, and I think it's hard to prepare a team for a guy who runs an 11.2 at wide receiver, a running back that runs an 11.6, and then run a quarterback who also runs an 11.2 100. So I think just the speed, and all of that, just trying to keep up, having to prepare for both of that is something different you'll see this year.
Evan, I'm going to go off script just for a quick second. Nathan, I've been wanting to ask you this. What was it like to catch the home run ball by Reese Hines this summer?
It was pretty awesome. Definitely was not expecting it. Going into the game, I was kind of a late addition to the group. I think I showed up at the person's house that took us there, as the game started, and just walking in, I was like, "Oh, it's just gonna be your normal Reds game," but it turned out to be really fun. It was really awesome to experience that.
What was it like to meet him? What did he say to you? What was that conversation like?
It was pretty funny because the group I was with, it was me and my brother, and then just my brother's girlfriend, all her friends. So it was kind of it was really awesome, and everyone was really hyped, but you couldn't really tell who caught the ball, because they were freaking out about it. But he was really nice. He was a super nice guy, down to earth. It was great meeting him. It was really fun.
All right, Coach, I got to ask the logo. Who did it first, the Ryle Raiders or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers?
Well, of course, the Ryle Raiders.
Okay.
Actually, I do have a funny story for you. Do you know when Ryle first, and our principal has this on his wall, Ryle almost got sued by the Oakland Raiders because their first colors were silver and black, and they took the logo off of the Raiders, and the owner of the Raiders sent a letter telling Ryle they had to change, and that's why they put orange in their colors.
Al Davis sent
a letter to Randy Cooper, who was the principal at the time, saying they had to change the logo, and the letter is on the principal's wall.
There you go, guys.
Fantastic.
We're bringing the hard-hitting news here on the podcast. So, Coach, tell me, this schedule for you guys. You played Cal, a state champion. You play St. X out of Louisville. You challenge yourself every week, and it seemed like as the year went on, that paid dividends. And I think of the Campbell County game was really the turning point. I believe you were down 21-7. Scored 2 touchdowns late and won the game in overtime, and then it propelled you guys the rest of the year to get to the state quarterfinals. Tell us about that process of just the scheduling and how it pays dividends as the year goes on.
Well, scheduling good football teams is always going to make you better. And the thing that scared us last year, though, was would we overcome some of those early losses to become a good football team? And because of our leadership, because of our players, they were able to overcome that and learn from those games. And and we built some confidence because we should have beaten Cal. We were up 14 at one point in the second half, and we had a couple young mistakes that cost us. We played with St. X the entire game. Actually, we scored like 36 points against St. X. So we had opportunities early. We beat Cooper earlier in the season. So we had opportunities, and we showed signs of being really good. It just took the second half, and actually we were down 17 in the fourth quarter at Campbell County and came back and kicked a field goal to tie it with no time left on the clock to send it in overtime. And then we scored, and I think, Savage, you were the one that scored in overtime on the first play of overtime. And from then on, we won like the next 6 games. And, unfortunately, we went up against a Bryan Station team in the state quarterfinals that ended up making the state finals. I think we played 4 teams that were in the state finals last year. We played 4 more that were in the state semifinals. And, it ended up being a pretty good season. And now we're just going to build on that this year. And we're looking forward to a pretty successful and fun season.
Jacob, I do the weekly leaders for tackles, and every single week you were at the top pretty much. Tell me your mindset on that defensive side and just how that happens where you're always up there in weekly tackle leaders.
It starts out with like our coaching. I feel like our coaches always put our whole defense as a whole in really good spots, but me specifically, they put me in good spots to make plays, and our preparation for the games, we prepare well, and we learn how what they do. Every team's different. Some pass a bunch, some run a bunch, and I feel like just the preparation for the games and everything like that just helps me be in a better situation and position to make lots of tackles. So.
And Landon, we often see the wide receiver basketball combo from a lot of athletes, and that's something that you're a leading scorer for the Raiders basketball team. How do those two sports kind of correlate, and how do you feed off each one, and how does that kind of help you?
A lot of it this year was definitely chemistry, being able to be on the court and on the field with Logan Verax. Just the ability to be able to bounce back and forth. Kind of basketball boosts my athleticism a little bit. Always jumping, always running. Just gaining strength over time, and just being in environments that I had to be a clutch time player, or being like in tight environments that I'd make plays.
And the district was extremely competitive last year. You guys went to the wire with Campbell County, went to the wire with Simon Kenton, and Great Crossing's in there too, who I expect to be much improved. What do you see as a district as a whole, and the goal there?
Well, first off, I kind of felt for Campbell a little bit because they had us by 17. They were up on Simon Kenton and lost on a Hail Mary at the end. So, and then I think they had Bullitt East on the defending state champs on the ropes. But the one thing our off season, our out of district schedule prepares us really well. We will not see anything in our district that's even close to what we play in our first 6 games. And so I think that prepares us really, really well for that and gets us ready for the playoffs. And we're going to open against Covcat. We're going to play Cooper. We're going to play Cal. We're going to play St. X. And if we would have come out of that undefeated, who knows what our RPI would be. So I like our chances, and I like our chances in the district to finish first and get that home field, which will be very big this year because our sister district is pretty tough. So I think I'm looking forward to it.
Guys, really appreciate this perspective. Now, you've heard already 2 answers already here about these ultimate Chick-fil-A go-to orders, but I got to ask you the same thing here. Nathan, we're going to start with you. What is on your go-to Chick-fil-A order?
My go-to is the nuggets and fries. Probably would be the best option for me.
Jacob?
I usually get the grilled chicken sandwich with fries, and I get Polynesian sauce as well.
Nice. Landon?
I got to go with the grilled chicken meal and milkshake along with that.
We go over to Dylan over here. What's your go-to?
So I can switch my order up sometimes, but it's usually the chicken nuggets and then lemonade.
Coach, how about you?
By the way, did he tell you it was 30 nuggets?
I was about to say,
how
probably
many?
not just 8 or 10.
Says it so nonchalantly, right?
Yeah. I'm actually a breakfast guy. I like the chicken burrito wrap in the mornings and stuff. But there is one thing I wish they had year round. That's the peppermint shake. So I love the peppermint shake.
There we go. We got an endorsement for that. Evan, how about you? This is our final question for your go-to order. Put you on the spot.
It's always the spicy chicken sandwich and then the fries. You got to have the Chick-fil-A sauce with it. So, and I love the iced tea lemonade mix. I forget, it's the Sunjoy, I believe is what it's called. That's my go-to drink too.
Good stuff. All right. We really appreciate the Ryle Raiders being here. This concludes our WCPO 9 high school football preview show from the Mall Road location at Chick-fil-A in Florence. We want to thank again the Cooper, Ryle, and Walton-Verona football programs. We will join you July 30th from the Western Hills location on Glenway Avenue. Thanks again for watching and joining us. We'll talk to you then.